I'm live. I finally finished The Count of Monte Cristo. And some of you might know I read books in groups of 7, and I've got 3 left. Well, kind of. I'm also doing War and Peace, which is quite long. I'm 500 pages into that one, so I'll probably recap that when I'm finished. I didn't know that 2 of the books that I grouped into my group of 7 were amongst the longest in novel history. I also have Les Miserables in my future list, and I found out that it's actually 1,300 plus pages. So when I read that, I'm going to be reading a book longer than this one. So the last few days, I've read a couple hundred pages in probably 3 days. I did 73 today, 70 yesterday, and like 90 something the day before that. And I've been slow burning this and mixing it with my other books. Um, but this is way different than what you probably think it is. Uh, Anybody that's seen the movie, there was a good movie, and it was either 80s or 90s, which I really liked, and it's nothing like this. The first segment of this book is what you remember is that he got falsely imprisoned and lost his life. Well, not his life, but his woman and his career. He pretty much got screwed. And then he was in prison a long time. And then he gets out and tries exacting revenge. But the thing is, that is only about this much, maybe that much of the introduction to the story. And then it goes off the rails. And man, you try to think about, okay, there's 1 or 2 people maybe that he wants to pay back, but there's this whole cast of characters. It's like a soap opera, and there's poisonings involved and conspiracies with people burying people alive when they're born, and people not knowing about it except Don Quixote. Not Don Quixote. I read that just recently. Don Quixote is better than this book, by the way. If you're looking for a heavy duty long book, Don Quixote is great. This one's good. I wouldn't call this one great, but anyway, the Count of Monte Cristo knew about it and finally confronts somebody in 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 court through other people. He uses a lot of other people to do things for him because he's got this gob of money, and I won't tell you where it comes from because you might know or might not know, and I don't want to ruin it for you. But it has a nice close that's better than the actual story. The story jumps around so much; it's dreadfully long. And all of these other characters, it's kind of like, when are we getting back to the revenge plot? So it's a slow burn for sure. Um, but the best part of the book is probably this last quote. So do live and be happy, children, do dear to my heart, and never forget that until the day when God deigns to unveil the future to mankind, all human wisdom is contained in these 2 words: wait and hope. So the Count, he kind of struggles with whether he should pay the people back or not, and ultimately he kind of gets his way, but then tries to redeem himself, I guess, and he's kind of torn at the end, and um, it's open-ended what happens to him at the very end. It doesn't sound like, things went really wrong for him, but he didn't get everything he wanted out of it. So yeah, what the themes are is struggling with accepting your fate, I suppose, and trying to change things or not, just leaving them alone. Um, but it's good. It's just more of a soap opera than it is a true novel, I guess. There was a mini series I saw that if you could handle reading 1,243 pages and then jumping into a mini series, I guess it's supposed to replicate this pretty well. But I don't know if you'd have the time and patience to do both. So I'm trying to hit as many classics as I can, and I've read about a third of the ones that I picked out of the Penguin Classics that I really, really want to read before my time is up. And I think I'm up to like 65 out of those, which is quite a bit. And then there's been a lot of other books, but um, would I recommend someone to read this? I don't know. I guess if you want to hit classics that everybody's heard of, this is kind of a must do. But just don't expect it to be a Don Quixote. And I will say, as far as War and Peace, I'm 500 pages into that. It's 964, and I like that a lot better than this one. So if you had to pick between this and War and Peace, I'd say War and Peace. Of course, I've not finished. And like I say, expect a review of that in the near future. All right. Bye.